Tonight is date night, and we have a delightful treat in store for you and your special someone. Steak and shrimp served with linguine and topped with a white wine cream sauce. This recipe will ignite the flames of love and create cherished memories. We'll take sirloin steak fillets, season them overnight in the refrigerator, pan-sear them in a cast iron skillet along with succulent jumbo shrimp, and we'll make a sauce using white wine, heavy cream, and smoked Gouda cheese. It's a symphony of flavors that embodies elegance, passion, and pure indulgence. So dim those lights, pour that glass of wine, and let the culinary journey begin. It's steak and shrimp with linguine and white wine cream sauce in the kitchen tonight. It's going to be delicious, so stick around and we'll show you how we make it. My name is Mark Phillips. I've been in the food and beverage business for over 30 years. Throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to be in over 10,000 kitchens from around the world. Each week, I travel to a different city and get the opportunity to call on some of the most amazing chefs in the industry. The Kitchen of Chef Mark is a channel dedicated to showing you how you too can make fine dining, restaurant quality food right in your own home. We'll travel together, we'll cook together, and we'll have some fun along the way. Welcome to the Kitchen of Chef Mark. Now let's get cooking. Steak and shrimp with linguine and white wine cream sauce. This delicious recipe is perfect for date night when you want to make a real impression on your guest. Sirloin fillets are seasoned with kosher salt overnight, then pan-seared in a cast iron skillet with succulent jumbo shrimp. Imported Italian linguine is topped with a sauce made from shallots, garlic, Chardonnay wine, and heavy cream. Our mise en place for two is, for the steak and shrimp, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of steak seasoning. We're making ours from salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder. And a tablespoon of shrimp seasoning, which is salt, pepper, white pepper, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, celery seed, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Old Bay is a common seafood seasoning if you don't want to make your own. 3 7-ounce sirloin fillet steaks, and a pound of jumbo shrimp. For the sauce, you'll need 1 shallot, chopped and minced, 4 cloves of garlic, chopped and minced, 1 cup of dry white wine, we're using Chardonnay, 1 cup of heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of the steak and shrimp seasoning, 2 sprigs of fresh parsley, chopped, and 4 ounces of grated smoked Gouda cheese. You can also use Parmesan cheese or any cheese that you like. For the linguine, you'll need a 1-pound box of linguine, and for the water, we'll need 1 teaspoon of chicken stock, a pinch of turmeric, and the cooked shells of the shrimp. This will add color and a nice flavor to the pasta. This recipe might look complicated, but it's actually very easy to make with a little preparation and planning. One of the first steps is to season the steaks overnight. Take the steaks out of the wrapping paper and place them onto a wire rack. Season the steaks with kosher salt on both sides. The juice inside of the steaks will be drawn out over the next several hours. Then the salted juice will be brought back inside the steak. If you can't do it overnight, at least 1 to 2 hours minimum. But overnight in the refrigerator will give the best results. We'll use a cast iron skillet on medium heat. Cast iron is ideal for holding heat. It's also better than a nonstick pan because we want some of the meat and seasoning to stick to the pan, which will help add flavor to our sauce when we make it later. Add a few tablespoons of olive oil and a few pieces of butter to the pan. Season the steaks with the steak seasoning on both sides. You can also just use pepper instead of the seasoning. The steak seasoning is optional depending on your personal taste. Place the steaks in the cast iron skillet and cook for 4 minutes. Turn the oven on to 170 degrees. We'll use the oven to keep the steaks warm once they are cooked. Then flip the steaks over and cook for an additional 4 minutes. Our goal is to get a medium rare steak. If you like yours more well done, then cook for an additional minute per side and also cook the sides too. Use a meat thermometer for best results. For rare steak, cook to 125, for medium, cook to 135, for medium well, 145, and for well done, cook to 155 degrees. Place the steaks onto a plate with aluminum foil, wrap them up, and then place them into the oven to stay warm. Keep in mind that the steaks will continue to cook for another 10 degrees or more. so it's better to undercook them in the pan if you plan to keep them in the oven to stay warm. Next, we'll work on our shrimp. We bought a pound of fresh jumbo shrimp, peeled and deveined them, and butterflied them. Lightly season the shrimp on both sides with the seafood seasoning. Then place the shrimp into the pan and cook for 1.5 minutes. Shrimp cook very fast and we don't want them to dry out. Put the shrimp onto a plate with aluminum foil, wrap them up, and place them into the warm oven with the steaks. The shells have flavor in them and we want to use them for our pasta water. Place the peeled shrimp shells into the pan and cook them for a few minutes. Bring a pot of water to a boil, then put a teaspoon of chicken stock into the water. Add in a pinch of turmeric. This will give the pasta a nice golden color. Add the cooked shrimp shells to the pot of water and let them boil while we make our sauce. In a cast iron skillet, add in a few pieces of butter and another tablespoon of olive oil on low heat. Add in the shallots and saute them for 3 to 4 minutes. Then add in the garlic and saute it for another minute. The wine goes in next. I wanted to highlight our wine tonight that we're using for our sauce. This is Chardonnay by Bay Bridge Vineyards. It's in stock at Kroger, and the beauty of this wine, in addition to tasting good, it's only $2.99 a bottle. Now, most wines that are, $5 or $6 or $7, they don't even taste that great. This is a delicious bottle of wine for only $2.99. Now, we learned in culinary school that you should never cook with a wine that you're not willing to drink. If the wine doesn't taste good in the glass, it's not going to taste good in your sauce. This is a great tasting bottle of wine. It's only $2.99. It's great to drink and it makes an amazing sauce. It's Bay Bridge Vineyards in stock at Kroger. Add in the cup of wine and bring the heat up to medium. Add in the cream and then a dash of the steak and seafood seasoning and whisk it into the sauce. Add in the juice of a fresh lemon, the chopped parsley, and finally the shredded cheese. We're using a smoked Gouda, but the traditional cheese in this type of sauce is Parmesan. If you don't want any cheese at all, you can leave it out completely. The cheese is optional. You would turn off the heat and add in a few pieces of cold butter. Once the sauce is finished, we can prepare the linguine. Use a strainer to remove the shrimp shells from the water. Add in the linguine. We're using half of a box of De Cecco brand linguine imported from Italy. Gently ensure that all of the pasta is submerged in the water, but don't break it in half. We want the linguine to stay long so that we can twirl it later on for better plate presentation. While the pasta is cooking, pour the wine sauce into a gravy boat, but leave a little bit in the pan. When the linguine is finished cooking, which is normally about 10 minutes of cook time, use a pasta spoon and add the linguine to the pan. Add a little bit of the sauce to the linguine and stir it around so that it is coated with the sauce. And now it's time to plate our dish. We're using a large dinner plate from our friends at International Tableware Incorporated in Toledo, Ohio. And there it is, steak and shrimp with linguine and white wine cream sauce. The perfect dinner for two on date night. Juicy sirloin steak with succulent shrimp, imported Italian linguine, topped with a sauce made from shallots, garlic, and white wine. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit.